All right. Now, this video, I have to deal with this situation with Israel Adesanya, this little dust up, or situation he had with Dricus inside of the cage after Dricus won his bout. Now, it is very cringe worthy, and I really don't want to play it. I don't want to play it. If you want to hear it, it's free on YouTube. It's on their YouTube channel, but they have the censored version. I will leave a link in the description box, and I will share a link in the chat room now. This is very cringe-worthy, and this is going to be a very poor build-up to this fight. And this is going to look bad. This looks bad. Look, Israel just looks bad already up there with pearl necklaces and stuff like that. But what was that emotional outburst in that post-fight interview? What was that from Israel? That emotional tirade, what was that? Now, since I'm making the video, figure I'll give you a taste of what I'm talking about. Okay. This is on their YouTube channel. UFC YouTube channel. And this is when Israel interrupted, he didn't interrupt, he was brought into the interview.
Good. Take your time, chill. That's right. We're fine. Relax.
Okay. Wow. What in Okay, so I guess that's all it took to set Israel off.
This is my African brother right here. Let's go. What's up?
So he's dropping the N-bomb repeatedly. Okay. Why? I have no idea. It's very weird and cringe. Like, what exactly is the purpose? I don't know.
Let's go. Yeah.
And he does it over and over and over. Oh, wow. You had all this time to think about what you were going to say before you got on or when you got onto the mic. This is what you thought of. This is what was running through your head. These lines.
What's up? Get you gonna do? Yeah, my African brother.
What? What is this? I'm sorry. This is too cringe already. And I cannot finish the video. And I'm not going to finish the video. I just want to say what I want to say right now. Israel. You right now are making people like me look bad. You know, they already think that we are, this childlike, infantile group of people who don't know how to express our thoughts or articulate our thoughts in an intelligent or well thought out manner. Especially once you get our emotions riled up. We just have emotional outbursts. There's a group of people who think that about us already. And you are breathing life into that stereotype with your behavior. And it's weird. It's weird because we've always thought of Israel as a person who can articulate his thoughts. If he gives something some thought, if he gives anything some thought, you'd think he'd be able to speak on it in a, fairly intelligent way. No matter what it is, politics, whatever. But with this, he just has these weird, cringe, emotional outbursts where he's sort of cosplaying as a black American thug from the hood. And I don't get what is that about? That is very cringe and weird. Israel doesn't even understand he don't understand the rules of being an adult. Forget about being a black man. He don't understand adulthood. You can tell he doesn't. Wow. Okay, Israel, relax. Drickus said that he would be the first native-born African to bring the belt back or win the belt from Africa. Yes, he said that. Do you know how you're supposed to respond to that? You're supposed to say, well, yeah, that's true. When they brought that to your attention, you're not supposed to have an emotional outburst. When they say, hey, Israel, what do you think about Drickus saying that he's going to be the first African-born, native African, who's still living in Africa, fighting out of Africa, to win the belt? What do you think about Drickus saying that? Israel was supposed to say, well, Drickus is correct, in the sense that he still resides in Africa. He still fights out of Africa. In that sense, Drickus is correct. And if Drickus wants that, if he sees the value in that accomplishment, he sees that as some type of win, he can have that. Good for him. If he wins the belt, he hasn't won the belt yet. But if he wins the belt, and hey, good for him. Next question. Simple as that. Why not just let Drickus have that? I don't get that. Let him have that. if you just respond like that, it will only make Drickus look bad. Everybody knows, Drickus is not like authentically African, in the sense that, people are seen as adapted to their environment. According to science, they say that the black body is adapted to that hot climate, the hot climate of Africa. So there's no way that Europeans evolved out of Africa. They were in Europe when they evolved or developed or whatever. You see, so in that sense, everybody knows that, though. There's no reason to have that discussion. Drickus introduced something new, a new way of looking at it, a new perspective, and it has validity. So you concede to the validity. That's part of being an adult, man. Sometimes people can finesse some type of win and undermine you. Sometimes that happens. But it might reflect badly on them. As long as you don't have an emotional outburst or breakdown over it, people will then look at them as if their attempt was pathetic. If that makes sense. This is so sad. It's sad to see. It's so sad to see, and because he's cosplaying with this slang, this ebonics, this black American ebonics, sort of cosplaying like he black American. Israel has nothing to do with black Americans. Listen, I hate to point that out. I hate to highlight that. But I wouldn't if he was not doing that. if he would have left us out of it. Don't cosplay and sort of pretend like, speaking this Black American lingo. Don't do that. Don't do that. Wow. So that was horrible. That was horrible. Israel should have never gone down this path. Now he has to act. He has to play it out now. He can't turn back the hands of time and act like he's not affected, which it shouldn't have affected him at all. And really, that would have given him an opportunity to highlight the difference between South Africa and places like Nigeria. Why, Israel, didn't you just be honest and be like, yeah, my family, we left Nigeria. A lot of us, sub-Saharan Africa, leave Africa. A lot of us leave Africa. And we don't go back because it's not as developed as South Africa. Everybody knows that. So why not just be honest? Oh God, everybody knows that Drickus was simply trying to push your buttons, Israel. And you, like a child, God, like a child, walked right into the trap. When all you had to do is be honest and mature about it. You would have came out, you would have won that exchange easily. You'd have just said it like it is. Yeah, we left, we don't go back. A lot of us do that. And hey, it might be dangerous for me to move back to Nigeria now. As wealthy as I am, I might get robbed. People would understand. And then they look at Drickus like, man, that was a pretty cheap thing to point out. Some people would look at it like that. Like, that would then make Drickus look pathetic. Oh, God. The power of honesty. Don't underestimate it. Stop trying to save face all the time. Why? What is it with people? Stop that. Admit when somebody when somebody gets you, okay, they got you. Just admit it. Stop trying to save face. We all understand. We all human. We can't be perfect. We understand that. That's the beauty of it. You can slither out of any situation just by being able to take your lumps, take your little criticism. We all have to take it at some point. Israel should have taken it. Now he's about to act out this corny, very cringe-worthy, infantile, unintelligent, emotional outbursts in the build-up to this with these weird racial slurs. Dude, just understand this has nothing. Do not associate this with Americans. I hate to have to point that out. I hate to have to point that out. And I feel bad, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. Because it happens too often where people associate any and everybody, no matter where they are on the planet, they do something, they put it on Black Americans, associate it with us, like we responsible for what anybody Black around the world do. No, that's crazy. That's just craziness. Got nothing to do with race. That's just bizarre and inaccurate. So I feel better. I wanted to talk about that foolishness from Israel Adesanya. You say Drickus is Dutch. So he wasn't born in Africa? I didn't know that. I thought he was born in Africa. I thought he was born and raised in Africa. and that his people were Dutch. His people came from Dutch or wherever the Dutch come from. And I understand. That's what I'm saying. And everybody knows that. So why not Israel? Why not just say that? Yeah, well, in that sense, if he was born there, if Dricus was born in Africa, he technically has a point. Everybody knows it. It's just that Israel is childish as hell. Had this cringe, weird, emotional outburst, totally unnecessary. He could have easily flipped this right back around on Dricus had he just relaxed and been honest and been an adult. Like, wow, big goofy. I've done that several times where I've just focused on being honest, and a person who was trying to make me look dumb ended up looking dumb themselves. Because a lot of times people expect you to lie to save face. But as long as you're honest, it usually flips right back on them. This was a situation just like that, had Israel played his cards right. But now he got to play out this dumb role. I hope you find this video, Israel. That was very, very shameful.